the biggest mistakes that a lot of flamenco guitar students make when they start learning buleria is to play it exactly like it's written in method books. And in method books, what you see is that the I finger is notated every single time. It looks like you have to play it at the same volume every time, just like this. And sometimes you even see more notes written for the I finger like this. What we want to do instead is add in a lot more dynamic variation. That means we're going to change the volume of the I finger, and then we're also going to add in some little rhythmic variation to help it groove a lot more, so that it sounds like what you hear when you listen to your favorite artists play a buleria, or if you go to a buleria party and people are jamming and it sounds like the best thing in the world. So we're going to add that in, and in this video I'm going to show you 7 really common buleria patterns that are going to help you play with groove when you play your compás patterns or your rhythmic patterns for buleria. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Before we jump into each of these patterns, I want to mention that the buleria rhythm is often counted in 12 beats, and most of the time for the guitar, the counting starts on the 12. That's the pickup note, or the last note of the cycle. So you start 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? So the 12 is the pickup. You can certainly start on the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? But it is very common for the guitar to start the count on the 12. And you hear that in percussion as well. So let's jump into pattern number 1, understanding that we're going to start this count on the 12. 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, 11, 12. If you wanted to continue this cycle, instead of having that space in between, when you go 9 and 10, 11, 12, 1, so it looks like this. 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11, 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and so forth. Pattern number 2 is a little bit funny. We're going to start it on the 11. So 11, 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11, 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11. A little faster. 11, 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11. That's a very, very common, all of these are really common, but this particular one is extremely common. So if you're going to learn only one of these, this is the one you should learn. Let's go and check out number 3. Number 3 is going to start on the 12. Let's do this slowly. This is a little bit confusing. 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11, 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11. Notice what I did at the end. And 10, 11, left the strings open, versus and 10, 11, right? You can mute it right after and 11. Gives it a little bit more of a bounce, so make sure to mix those up. Let's jump to number 4. Number 4 also starts on the 12. This is just a variation of number 3, and what we're doing here is changing where we place the ending accents. Before in number 3, we had the accents on 6 and 8. Now we're going to place them on 7 and 8. So 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11 again. 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. So notice I made my 6 really quiet, right? 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Very quiet. That's called a ghost note. 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11, 12. Now, the other thing I want to point out here, we can always add a little variation on the 3. I don't have to go and a 3. I can just keep it simple. 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, 8 and 9 and 10. Okay, so play around with those two options. A big part of flamenco is being able to vary the way that you play something. You don't want to stick to what is in the book, what's written. You want to learn that first, absolutely, but then as soon as possible, you want to start to create variations from what you learn. That's really the heart of flamenco. There's a lot of rhythmic improvisation. Let's jump to number 5. Number 5 is a variation of number 4. And as you see, this is going to be a common theme, like I mentioned. You want to add a lot of rhythmic variation to your foundational phrases. So learn these first. These are your templates. This is what you need most of the time. Once you learn these and you have internalized them, then your next step, create variations, have fun with it, be a composer, be an improviser. That's going to make it a lot more fun, a lot more interesting for you and for the listener. So here's number 5. Number 5, what we're doing here is instead of playing 7 and 8 like we did in number 4, we're going to just play the golpe on 7, 8. So in number 4, it was I down and the golpe, 7, 8, right? 7 and 8. In this one, we're just going 7 and 8. That's the only difference. It's a little bit tricky though. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. Let's check that out. I'm going to make the 3 simple. So 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11, 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Sorry, I forgot the 10, right? 11. One more time, a little faster. 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Right, you can see it adds a little bit of a different flavor to the buleria pattern. Let's move on to number 6. Think of pattern number 6 as a slight variation of pattern number 3. Pattern number 3, just to recap, starting on the 12, 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 8 and 9 and 10. Number 6, we're going to be adding in one extra chord, which is a C9, right? We have our A add flat 2 or add flat 9. We've got our B, we'll call this just a B flat. We're not going to go into the whole name. And then we're going to the C or C9, right? So just think of these chords as A, B flat, C, B flat, A for now. So here's what it looks like. So 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11, 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11. You're going to notice these pull-offs that I'm doing in my left hand. That gives the buleria a lot more of a swing to it, right? If I just played this versus this, right? It gives it a little more character. So if you are advanced enough to add in those pull-offs and slurs, go ahead and add that in. I'm going to play it one more time so you can see them slowly. 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, 11. So add that into your mix if you are capable. Let's move on to the last one, which is number 7. Number 7 is one that you hear all the time, especially when somebody is closing a particular phrase in a piece of music. And that's going to include a different technique. It's a rasgueo technique that is I up, A down, and I down. It's a triplet. I, A, I, A, I, A. There's going to be 3 of them. Just for this example, there you can extend it and you can have more for sure. But for this example, just 3 of them. Be very careful. It's very common for a lot of students to push and use a lot of muscular effort in these. Don't do that. The looser and the lighter, the better it's going to sound and the better it's going to feel, and you're going to avoid injury. So keep it loose, keep it light, and make sure to get your bass strings in there. Make sure you're not stuck here. It's going to sound thin. You want, right? That's what it's going to sound like at the end. So this is what it is. We're going to start on the 12. I'm going to use pattern number 3, the beginning of it, and then I'm going to go into this at the end. 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6 and 7 and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 9, 10. Starts on the end of 7. So and 8. So 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. It's a little confusing because it's a triplet that starts on the upbeat, right? So 12 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 9, 10. Okay? And you can use that for your closing phrases. These 7 basic buleria patterns are going to help you add some bounce and some groove to your buleria playing so that it sounds a lot more authentic, not like you learned it from a method book. And I know what that's like because when I first started learning flamenco, I learned from a method book and my buleria sounded like the examples I showed you in terms of what not to do. So make sure to work on these 7 patterns. Work on them one at a time. Please don't try to tackle everything at once. And if you're feeling at all confused about the compás or rhythm for the buleria, then you need to check out the next video on the screen here where I break down the rhythm of the buleria in very simple terms. See you over there.